on Coastline. Let's take it away. Thanks, Cthulhu.
All right. Now going into the banning phase, I would expect at least either of the sides to be banning Glass, as he's been a fairly popular ban, especially on Coastline. Whereas on the defense, we'll probably be seeing just default stuff, a Mirror and an Echo, but this time Ying banned. So Lowkey esports do not want to have any of that rushing mess.
Yeah, and look how quickly Fnatic were to ban out the Blackbeard. They've thought about this already, and they know exactly what they want to take off. I'm a bit surprised by that Ying ban. It's not something that we see taken off straight away. Followed up by an Echo ban once again. It took a bit longer with deciding that one. But, you know, one thing I want to say is that we've seen Echo especially used throughout the Asian regions to great effect. Like, they use it as someone to drone out on defense and play aggressive off of that information.
Oh, yeah. But, I mean, this time, Echo being banned out, that would mean just you'd be forced to use something like Valkyrie and Maestro way more and in a bit more clever way. And this time Jackal is not banned out like we've seen with the Taboo versus Oddity. So Lusty will be jumping straight on that roam clearing bandwagon, which could be quite beneficial, especially against Lowkey esports, because we did see them play fairly well roaming wise during the invitational qualifiers.
Yeah, and then we're going to see the who was it? Pulse switched over for a Maestro as well on the defense. I was going to say, like, you know, I don't really think Jackal is an operator we see too often on this map, though.
He's not, but when he is, he does tip the favor quite substantially if the defending team is roam heavy. So right now, if Fnatic will be playing at the top of their game, they would have, at the very least, a Jackal and a Buck, or Jackal and IQ going around in a team of two and just clearing up bit by bit of the map.
See, I want to say though that I feel like Coastline is a map that you don't really need those operators to help you roam clear, right? Like, it's very easy to cut off rotations, especially with, you know, the donut shape and the fact that, you know, you can hold Skylight. I don't know how tilting it is, but, you know, you can do that kind of stuff to really help you clear it out. I'm a bit surprised that we're going to see the presence of Jackal, to be honest.
I'm on an opposite side. Like, yes, it is fairly simply shaped map, but at the same time, you have so many angles that you can hold that can catch off guard some of the attackers. So, I'd say, out of all the maps, Coastline will probably be one of the more prevalent maps for using Jackal and just being very heavy on roam clear, because the moment you push all of the defenders into one spot and you manage to pinch them in, that's where you're managing to easily and quickly succeed in winning the round. Whereas if you're allowing the roamers to roam around freely around this donut, you're in a lot of in for a lot of trouble.
Yeah, it's been a great clear to start off with by Fnatic. We saw like the coordination between Rizraz and Magnet there.
Yeah.
So make sure that, you know, even if one of them goes down, there's going to be someone nearby to trade them back immediately. But they are, I don't know, it's slow and methodical, isn't it? And it seems like Lowkey was set up for a completely different kind of push, because they've just given this land, or this part of the map, up to Fnatic as Lusty finds the first one on and man goes through the floor.
Yeah, and that is the Maestro off the board, which means no more disruption with his evil eye cameras and just only information. Whereas there's no contention, no firefights in favor of Lowkey esports, and it is a bit frightening, seeing as they had no teeth in that first engagement at all.
Yeah, and it really feels like they've been trying to defend too much off the bomb site, and Fnatic is just avoiding them. Going to start spotting out the alibi as well, but it looks like that whole delivery area is just completely open and no contention. Fnatic could just push in for a plant. Especially with Mango's the Maestro down, no one's going to be able to deny it.
I think that's what Ace is just about to pull off, as there's only Casper who is on the kitchen, but I don't think he will be able to contest that, as so much floor has been opened that nothing can be done. Rizraz picks up a kill onto Casper, but will be now contesting with the dog. And just land a nice, crisp, clean headshot onto Bundy, as Kelly does fire back onto Virtue, and Muesli will be using his gas grenade to get some closure for himself. Although Muesli does not spot the aces. Rizraz runs in with his back turn, but Lusty at the end manages to shut down Muesli's clutch potential, and that is the first round going fairly swiftly in favor of Fnatic.
Yeah, Fnatic showing their class right there, just slow and methodically pushed back all the members of Lowkey. Lowkey really playing very static, weren't they? They weren't moving out throughout the map at all. They just stayed in their spots and waited for Fnatic to come to them. And, you know, that's giving Fnatic the initiative. And Fnatic, you know, going to say thank you very much. I'll just go and take that to win the round.
Yeah, it's honestly an absolute pleasure watching some of the Fnatic plays. Like, they just go and slowly, methodically, just chipping away at the ground, chipping away at any of the safe spots that the defenders have, and slowly but surely just closing it out, like we just saw. There was a slight slip up with Rizraz just deciding to push in with his back to Muesli, but that didn't last long, really.
Yeah, it was kind of in a situation where, you know, it's a 4-on-1, guys. I think we should be right here. And then Rizraz is like, oh, wait a minute, I got shot in the butt.
Yeah.
Well, looks like Lowkey want to try and defend the exact same bomb site once again. Cthulhu, sorry, what were you going to say?
I did want to say that Rizraz ended up using himself as a bait for the rest of the team, as they could afford that.
Yeah, that's fine. It's kind of like a living drone, isn't it?
Yeah. Essentially, that was the case in the first round, but I'm quite curious what will be different during Lowkey's defense, because from my memory, the current Lowkey's roster was part of the Crimson before. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes.
Yeah, and Crimson didn't really have that much showing during the previous season, so right now they need all possible advantage for them to get themselves going.
They were one of the lowest seeded teams, and what I want to say about the lowest seeded teams is they always seem to do well against this Fnatic roster. And, you know, speaking of doing well, Virtue's going to be shut down to start off with by Casper. So great start there for Lowkey in this second round.
Indeed. And outing IQ, especially on with this current setup of Lowkey, is definitely a good sign, because now they won't be able to track Casper, they won't be able to shut down that efficiently the new jammers, and they won't be able to find the Jaeger ADS device. So overall, a good start, but can they emphasize of that now is the main question, as Scally, though, manages to find Rizraz off guard. And now comes the bigger question. Well, not the big question. Can they emphasize further? Bundy, the absolute madman, actually baits in with the Jaeger and still manages to keep Calicon on fairly high health.
So
now just
5-on-2 now, and Fnatic have just been decimated. So this is what I would say. Like, you know, we see more reactive and more of the defenders trying to dictate the pace, and you know, it's definitely been working. Like, Fnatic really, they're just not aware of the angles of where they're going to get a shot from, as Mango's going to on one. Now it's Lusty in a 1-on-5. He will find Casper though, but you really have to feel like this is Fnatic letting this round slip here.
Yeah, but
there we go.
Aces tries to contest with that, but Muesli, unfortunately for Aces, unfortunately for himself, manages to land the final shot. So Lowkey Esports managing to bite back on round 2, managing to find the kills fairly well, and all things considered, that was a good start up.
Yeah, it just looked like a completely different team, didn't it? Fnatic just did not look ready for Lowkey to fight back, and they're not just going to roll over and die. They're going to say, hold on, guys. We can start fighting back if we want, and they did so.
Yeah. A very good showcase so far, especially against Fnatic, but it does seem to me that Fnatic got a bit cocky on the second round with the way how they played it out, at least to me.
Yeah, it seemed like they weren't taking as much care that time, were they?
Yeah.
None of the coordinated droning, and, you know, it seemed like 3 out of the 5 players just got shot in the back, didn't they?
Yeah, it wasn't really as impressive as was the first round, but all things considered, let's jump back into round 3, because maybe this could be the reset round for Fnatic and for them to get back on track, or maybe the Lowkey Esports train might continue rolling.
Yeah, you know, we kind of come into this one expecting a Fnatic win, but I think the most exciting thing that could happen is if Lowkey were to shut down the favourites. Hey, I feel like it's...
Oh yeah, that will be the upset, the big upset.
Yeah.
Like we had, what was it, X Dead Set, now Avant getting the win off Fnatic.
Yeah, and I think Control also drew a match against Fnatic last season as well.
Yeah.
So it's definitely, like, you know, these upsets can happen.
Oh yeah, certainly. But now I'm a bit questioning the decision to defend Sunrise and Blue, because it is still a very much of an experimental site to defend, and for Lowkey, it might be a bit too big of a bite that they've taken. But
yeah, and
can't judge a book by its cover though.
So I just wanted to say, once again, we're seeing a bomb site on the ground floor as the second pick. Like, you know, this is what we saw from Oddity of them not going upstairs till they had to, and it looks like Lowkey have got a very similar mantra as well. Like, they want to try and defend those downstairs bomb sites instead of any of the upstairs ones.
Yeah, because upstairs bomb sites, as recently have been showing quite a lot of vulnerability for the defenders, and certainly with the ability to play from below for the defenders, the ground floor sites are definitely much more favorable. I'm not too sure what is that run out as well. What happened exactly, but
yeah, not quite sure where that was from, but seems like Fnatic are being a bit more careful. Made their way into above the bomb site.
Yeah,
it really feels like this is the Lowkey we saw in the first round of not really reacting and just kind of just sitting there waiting, isn't it?
yeah, it seems like a much more calm player. Already half a round gone and not a single blood drawn. But I think that might change very quickly, very soon, with Bundy so far getting into a couple of firefights with the Aces and Magnet. But Rizraz will be drawing the first blood on this round onto Muesli, but I don't think Rizraz is
Nice shot.
knowledgeable yet about Scalicon, but now they know there's a Raging Jaeger ready to rain some fire. And I don't think Magnet is ready to... Yeah.
And they're not ready for Casper either. He's hiding in the corner with the shotgun, and he's going to blast Lusty, trying to make his way into the entrance. So that's the man advantage gone over to Lowkey, but Magnet is there to trade it right on back, finding Bundy on the bomb site. They still have to worry about Scalicon on the flank, of course, and of course Casper sitting in the corner with his shotgun. But there's still 30 seconds to play with here for Fnatic. Looks like Magnet's going to get ready to peek onto Scalicon, and he's not going to win the fight. Scalicon is going to turn it to his advantage as the flashbang is going to be trying to use to force out the smoke. 20 seconds now, and Fnatic really have to start making their way in. And oh, we're going to see Casper drop him with the SMG-11. Can't quite go for the revive with this little amount of time left, so Virtue's going to have to try and clutch it on out here. 5 seconds, he's ran on into the bomb site. He's going to find Mangoes, but with 3 seconds, 2 seconds, Casper's going to finish him off. And that's Lowkey taking the lead.
That was a very good play out. At the start, Fnatic managing to just kind of slightly start dictating their game. They got back to them being methodical about their push, but the moment I feel when they encountered that Jaeger, that's kind of, they got a bit lost.
Yeah, why were Fnatic not watching their flank?
Yeah.
Fizzle's going to be having words with them about that, because that is some rookie mistakes to, you know, let Scalicon have that much joy just crouch walking up through billiards. Like, that should not be happening.
Not at all. And I'm a bit confused. Yeah, why was Rizraz let off on a solo push onto the stairs without Magnet covering him? Like, yeah, I do understand Magnet opening up the floor to get the angles, but at the same time, shouldn't there be more people?
Yeah, it seemed like half of Fnatic were just sitting outside not doing much, didn't it?
Yeah, it certainly did feel like it, but maybe it's them attempting to read on the actions of Lowkey esports, but so far, neither of them came true.
Well, you know, what we saw in the last Pro League season, Fnatic started things off with a, was at that point a 5-5 draw against Control, one of the lower seed teams, so I don't know, we could see things not go too well for Fnatic to kick things off once again. Of course, it could be like that situation of, you know, they've just come off a big tournament playing some big international teams, and now they've come home. They just got to acclimatise back to how the ANZ teams play, but you really feel like they should have had plenty of scrims since then.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I'm kind of surprised, yeah, at this turnout, but not surprised in a bad way. This is a pleasant surprise for me, seeing that Lowkey aren't just getting full-on 7-0 by Fnatic, and they are showing that they can fight back. So this is definitely a solid showcase. Whereas Fnatic, yeah, slightly falling behind, not clear and not checking their corners, not having any kind of biting power on the roams, and Rizraz once again, but this time with the assist of 2 drones, will be pushing in on a solo.
Yeah, see, I think it's fine for them to have a solo push as long as they are, you know, as long as they are using the drones properly. And it seems like the solo pusher meets up with a teammate later on anyway, but here we go. This is Fnatic being a lot more assertive, a lot faster. They're not being slow here. They've been nice and quick.
Yeah, certainly do have decided to change the pace, and that actually worked out pretty well for them, all things considered. And apart from that, there's, well, really not that much to see just yet. The run out might have happened if as soon as Jackal pinging is going to stop. But apart from that, Fnatic are very rapidly closing in, and already half a minute gone, and they're that close to the objective. And I don't think there's enough utility for the defenders to stop the push.
Yeah, well, defenders are definitely in some very hard to get out positions. It's just going to come down to who wins the gunfights when the push comes on in. Like, it really doesn't feel like this push is going to rely much on utility. It's getting ready for a full-on frag fest any second now.
Indeed, and Bundy trying to get some info, gets a peek, but not too sure if he can find any just yet. But right now, the crossfire are there.
Just missed. He just missed the head there of the peeking Rizraz. Gonna do so again. But no one really wants to commit to this fight. 30 seconds on the clock. They're gonna have to go soon here, Fnatic. It's going to be Lusty opening things up. That's Muesli going down. Here comes the push. Lusty with another one onto Scallican. Ace is going to find his own as well before Casper finds Aces, and Rizraz will find Bundy, leaving it all up to Casper. Here's one on the Cool Vibe stairs, so he's going to go and peek over. Magnet's not going to land those shots. Goes to the shotgun and hits him right in the face. This Fnatic. Now they look like they're back on track.
It certainly looks that way as... yeah. This time, yeah, I feel that Fnatic, the moment they managed to go into that kind of rush push mode with all of them committing to that, that's when they in their winning state. The moment that's half of the team kind of still outside, half of the team is already kind of coming in, that's where their uncertainty starts to settle in, and that's where they are on their losing state.
Well, even Steven now in terms of the scoreline, 2-2. Kitchen has opened back up here for Lowkey. Now, remember the first round they defended it, they were pretty abysmal. The second round, they won it, you know, pretty convincingly, didn't they? So, what do you reckon we're going to see this time? An even round, maybe, Cthulhu, just to balance things out?
I feel that maybe this one Fnatic might actually take, once again, fairly convincingly. They showed a good showcase on the first round. And if Lowkey are gonna abandon the side once again like they did before with overly too much roaming, this round might actually go into the hands of Fnatic once again, and they would be taking the lead.
Right. As for operator lineups, I see Rizraz has changed off from the Ashe. It just hasn't been working for him. He's gone to the Thatcher. What utility do you reckon he's going to be trying to counter with the Thatcher?
Probably just the mute jammers and the Maestro cameras, because with Maestro cameras, if Maestro is not dead, he can still be very disruptive, especially during like when the plant is already done and he needs to harass the attackers while the roamer is going on a flank.
Alright, so we're 4 rounds into this, and you know that's 4 rounds that we've seen Virtue in his role on the Fnatic squad now. How do we think he's shaping up? Like, do we think he's a good fit so far?
I reckon he is, but he does seem to be lacking a bit of commitment on some of the pushes to me. That's how I feel it, because we saw on, I believe that was the second round when LK were defending the blue bar and Sunrise. He was the last one to come around and couldn't really show much outside of that. So he has good potential, but I think he still needs a lot of time to be put to fully settle in with Fnatic.
Yeah, well, it is really only Mangoes on the bomb site to try and hold it out. The rest of Lowkey are playing at range, aren't they?
Yeah, and the last time we saw that happen, they got outed one by Fnatic, and the player who was playing on the side last was essentially just completely overwhelmed.
Yeah, definitely. But it's a minute and a half gone now, and Fnatic is starting to hunt through this floor. They're using the Jackal. They're going to be using their drones as well to help them try and find where this defender is on site. And I think, you know, they've got pretty much the whole bomb site to themselves now.
Yeah, now the last thing remains to be done is actually get on the site and go for the plan, which I don't think will be too far away with the way how Fnatic have everything set up. And I think delivery will probably be the main place to push for Fnatic.
Yeah, you can feel that it should be happening soon. Now, of course, there will be the Maestro cameras to help try and deny the plant, and the Maestro player is still alive, of course. Mangoes. Virtue's going to find Casper to kick things off with. That'll be the Valkyrie completely shut down.
Yeah, outing Valkyrie, manpower-wise, yes, a decent turnout, but the utility has been used. Magnet finally finds Mangoes, so that is the Maestro camera is off, and Aces can finally freely go for the push. The C4 comes out, will be denying Aces, but Virtue will be trading out. Calcon gets another kill onto Bundy, 4v1 situation, and all up to Muesli once again to try to clutch this up, as he is now in a 1v4 situation. The diffuser is down and right by him, so Fnatic do needs to calm him, but Lusty will be shutting him down, and that is round 5. Now going into Fnatic, and the point lead is back on for the big org.
Yeah, so that was Virtue stepping up in that round, didn't he? So, you know, he must have heard me asking, how do you think he's doing? And he's like, well, I'll show them. And what was that? Big 3k, I think, on the IQ.
Yeah.
Helping Fnatic pick up that round. You know, I was going to say, it really feels like, you know, Fnatic are going to be going for that kind of smoke plant. I think maybe a Glaz might be the way to go, because we saw that planter go down to just a toss C4 while he was in the smoke.
Yeah, and since Glaz is not banned, this is the prime opportunity for them to do that as well. But alas, at the moment, we're not seeing a single Glaz pick.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defended.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, with the last round of this half, right now, if LK managed to even this out back to 3-3, they would still have a good fighting chance for themselves on Coastline. If they manage to lose the last defense round, I do feel that they might be having some issues down the line in the second half of this.
Yeah, definitely. Well, 3-2 final round of the half. Virtue's drone is going to be found by Mangoes, and looks like, you know, they've decided we've failed at kitchen twice in a row. Now let's change it back up again. Sorry, it was just the once, wasn't it?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, the first round they failed it, and that last round they failed it as well. So Bars is going to be the port of call.
Yeah, and Bars was a pretty good defense for LK as well, as they managed to just draw it out to the last moment and just single out every Fnatic member down to every second. So if they want to get a successful defense run, I think this side will be the prime decision for them, as Muesli will be the first person potentially contesting with the Rizraz, but misses him just by a little bit.
I think Rizraz might be trying to bait him out here as well with that repel.
Certainly looks like it.
Surely Fnatic have some drones, some kind of information ready to know exactly what's going on, but Muesli's holding this angle nice and tight. He's going to be ready for any kind of aggression we're going to see. Oh, are they going to be ready for him? Here he goes, he peeks, he's going to do a lot of damage to Rizraz, but no, Rizraz is going to finish him off in the end. Oh, he's been down, he's not finished off, but you really don't think he's going to last too much longer, do you?
Yeah, not anymore, as usually he's down, and Rizraz will be finally managing to finish him off, but not before. Rizraz actually took plenty of damage, so in the long run, if any of the defenders will be getting into a firefight with Riz, they will definitely be having the advantage.
Yeah, definitely. So we've got the Jaeger getting scanned on out as well by the Jackal. So it seems like Fnatic are going for something a bit more standard, a bit less, I don't know. They're deciding to attack on the same plane but from the opposite side rather than just going for the top down, which really didn't work out for them last time, did it?
Yeah, not at all. But this time, I mean, still a decent turnout. Minute already only left on the clock, and Fnatic are not really that close to the site, so they do need to get some advancement going for them. Magnet will be the first person to contest the blue bar with a grenade, attempting to get some closure, but no damage dealt to Mangoes, and the first smoke grenade will be coming out from the defense side in hopes of just delaying it slightly more. 35, well, now 35 seconds left, and still no closure from the attackers.
Oh, Magnet's gonna do the old nade through the floor as Rizraz will find Casper, but be down for his problems. Virtue onto Bundy as well, putting us in a 5-on-2. Scalacan and Mangoes have 15 seconds to try and hold out and deny a plant fall.
15 seconds to go.
Yeah, and they are in a, just as I was about to say, prime position. Magnet will be outing Mangoes and all up to Skelly to deny the plant, but Magnet with a nice swift crouch peek will be outing the Jaeger and getting the round for themselves. 4-2 will be the score for the first half, and we'll be going now to Fnatic's defense, which I do feel will be much more tilted in their favor rather than having them on offense.
Yeah, definitely. As the operator picks are going to come on in. Where are they going to start off here, Fnatic, you reckon? They're going to have to lock it in quick. Of course, with the new rules, they've changed the time it takes between rounds. So you got to be a bit quicker as a team. You can't sit there and wait for too long.
Yeah, very quick and swift picks. So not a single 6-pick yet that I've witnessed. I don't think there will be any. Yep, neither of the teams will be going with the 6 picks fully quickly locking in, getting in with the plays. This time Fnatic will be on defense, and their first choice is Penthouse Theater. Unlike any other team that we've seen so far, that will be going for the top floor defense on their first defense round, which could work out quite well. Rizraz setting up a nice pixel angle.
Has he changed his mind? Seems like he put the shield down and picked it back up, didn't he?
I was like, picked it up, like, nah, actually, I'm just gonna use it somewhere else. Or maybe he nearly exposed one of the secret tactics. You never know. Take notes, ladies and gentlemen.
A bit of the old bait and switch, maybe.
5 seconds remaining.
It's just trying to bait us. As looks like Magnet might be going for a bit of a spawn peek. He's going to go for the run out. Seems like he's just mistimed that one as the player that spawned poolside of Bundy. Just not up yet.
Yeah, just not up yet. And,
here we go. In the corner.
Actually, yeah, in the corner. What a surprise. But all things considered, though, Rizraz has got a very potent position to play from right now, because he does have that shield with the pixel angle. He does have the mute jammer, so he won't be able to be droned that easily. And if there will be enough cover from the hallway or from VIP, he will be pretty much untouchable.
Yeah, definitely. But Bundy is going to take quite a bit of damage. And I think Magnet did as well from the buck down below. He's going to just boost himself back up. However, as the drones are coming on out in Virtue, he's getting ready to take this fight through the door into Hall of Fame. I'm going to call it music, but I might go with its proper name. Well, we're going to see Virtue. He's been scanned out by the Jackal. We're going to see the Thatcher Grenade go down as well, but oh, Virtue's going to win that. Magnet's going to win the fight onto Bundy as well. Beautiful observing there, Sky. We're going to see, however, Mangoes through the floor find Magnet, putting us into a 4-on-3.
4-on-3 indeed, and what an explosive part of the round that was. Mangoes is already tagged up quite substantially, and Rizraz, there we go, will be getting a frag onto Casper as well from his cheeky spot. now all up to the two players of LK to see if they can deal some damage, but it doesn't look like that might be the case.
Yeah, Mangoes is lit up quite a bit. He is still alive though. Still the potential to land a few quick headshots, but Scalacon's on full HP. So they are at the disadvantage, but they're still in with a shot here, you'd have to say. But, you know, that's being pretty generous, as Mangoes is going to drop in the bathroom. Use a grenade to clear out any of the barbed wire. Oh, he took some damage for his trouble as well. He doesn't have much damage to take.
Not at all, and Scalicon is not helping at all as well, not being able to assist. To assist with Mango's push, will be now forced to force Rizraz. To face Rizraz, but will be losing his head to it, and that is all she wrote. 5-2, and so far any of the bite that LK showed on the first half seems to be completely diminished.
Yeah, it does. Fnatic just completely locking it down.
Yeah.
But they are going to head over to the bars bomb site. So I suppose interesting to note is that we saw Fnatic decide to go for Penthouse first up. You know, we haven't seen a team do that all day today on our second map of Coastline.
Yeah. Felt quite refreshing as well. But interestingly enough, Calicon decided to swap over from Maverick to IQ, and not bringing any of the hard breach, which somewhat questionable, but at the same time for this site, not necessarily needed full on. What do you think about that, Monkey?
Yeah, I really feel like Maverick really doesn't have much of a use on this map. Like, there are a few positions you can use him in, but I think there isn't many angles you're going to flank from that you're going to need to open up a reinforced wall with to just try and get that sneaky little crossfire that Maverick will provide. It's pretty straightforward Coastline, so I don't really think there's much point taking a Maverick on Coastline.
True. But at the same time, he could bring in some of the unexpected plays.
Yeah,
yeah.
I think he'd just be too niche on a map like this. Like,
true.
Maybe I think the only bomb site where he would have a great effect would be on attacking Penthouse, but even then, still not sure.
Yeah. Even then, yeah, Penthouse will probably be the most potent one to use the Maverick, but yeah, I do have to agree with you. He will be quite fairly niche in that regard. But with that in mind, though, already nearly a minute gone, and the only person who has taken damage so far is Magnet.
Oh, and Casper. Just peeking in and just missed losing his head very narrowly. We're going to have a pretty heavy hold up top here from Fnatic.
It does seem like it, and seems that they were taking a couple of those notes as well from that Empire versus Penta game. Muesli will be picking up a kill onto Virtue, but Aces responds back onto Muesli, trades him off 4v4 situation, with Aces managing to fight back, but Buddy finally kills him through the bar as Magnet trades out Casper 3v3, and just like that, in a quick succession, we've been seeing plenty of trades. Lusty.
Oh, Lusty. Goes for the play, but Scalacan hears him and shuts him down.
Yeah.
There we go. Rizraz and Magnet remaining here for Fnatic to try and fight off the 3 remaining members of Lowkey.
Magnet? It does seem to be a bit odd to me that Aces did not try to default back. He had a soft hatch that he could pop open and just drop down, but maybe not this time. Magnet decided to go for the push as well, but
he's going to reveal his position as well, and Rizraz on site. He's going to get found by Bundy, leaving it all up to Magnet. They know he was on the flank. They knew he was upstairs, so they can just start pushing down and start going to be trying to this plant. So we do have Scalacon trying to hold the rotate up top, and sorry, Mangoes, and Mangoes is going to shut him on down.
That was a nice angle as well for Mangoes.
Yeah, there we go. Lowkey picking up their first round after 5. Going against them. Sorry, 4 going against them. So the 5th round, they finally won one. Now, I think the reason why Aces didn't default back is he really didn't expect them to get pushed so aggressively up top. Like, we saw how early Lowkey committed to that push, and how all of them did it as well.
Yeah. It almost felt like Lowkey just kind of saw that chemistry that Fnatic figured out with those like quick aggressive pushes, applied it to them, and that's the end result. And the end result ended up being very successful.
Well,
Attackers need to locate and
here we go into the next round. Taking a look at those kills, Rizraz leading the way out in front on 9.
Yeah. And 9 kills on, yeah, Rizraz, 7 kills on, I believe that was Magnet. So far, pretty good play out.
Well, we might be having to head for a rehost in a moment, as just waiting for the word from the admins, of course.
10 seconds left.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Aces is setting up some very interesting spots from to hold potentially from below, as they're pretty wide and clear enough for them to be used quite substantially by the defense.
Yeah, well, one of the main things we see, especially in the ANZ region on this bomb site, is trying to defend it from below. We saw it was an August and Darksided, have a nice little battle over this bomb site, and most of it played out below.
Yeah. But now that we saw both teams sorted out, I'm actually quite curious how much of a usage we'll be seeing from that hold from below. Virtue being the only person who is holding in the blue bar. We'll be sitting and just waiting for the push. He did get droned out. And right now, already a minute gone and not a single push, proper push has been made.
Yeah, minute down. Slight Lowkey just trying to, start moving into some of the ground that they can take pretty much for free. Aquarium's not too contested. And we see Mangoes and Casper interested in pushing downstairs to try and deny any of that bottom-up defense. Scalacon's going to find aces, but Rizraz will trade him straight on back.
Yeah, with that in mind though, Rizraz will just keep holding a very safe angle from below, and Rizraz will be just waiting for the push.
Yeah, well, hold on, Cthulhu. We've got a rehost called, unfortunately, back to us. While the players will just have to go and sort that out, unfortunately. But 5-3 to Fnatic so far here on Coastline.
Yeah, and so far a fairly decent showcase by LK, but it feels that FNC are getting back on track. They did get a bit cocky on some of their plays at the first half, but it seems that they're having a much better grip on how everything is being played out on their defense rather than offense, all things considered. And look at this, like throughout the whole game, Riz already on 10 frags, which is a pretty good showcase all in all.
Yep, so we're going to head to a quick break while we get this rehost sorted out, guys. Not much we can really do, but...
Yes, we are, and what a surprise so far we had. Lowkey Esports managing to showcase that they can bite back against the big giant in face of Fnatic, but just not yet enough. 5-3 is the scoreline so far in favor of Fnatic, as they are on defense and will be taking Hoka Lounge and Billiards for their defense. We did see a slight teaser, you could call it, right before the rehost. And the big question is, can Lowkey Esports bring it back, or will this be just a swift 7-3?
Yeah, well, we'll have to wait and watch and see, shall we?
Yes.
Alright. So, back to Billiards, of course, as the bomb site choice. As for these operator lineups, what are we thinking about them, Cthulhu?
To be honest, it seems fairly simple. You have Rizraz with his new jammers just to deny any droning, potentially going in for the roaming. Virtue might be holding an angle at the staircase, as well as the rest of the Fnatic lineup might just be holding somewhat close and around the objective. Two Romas, 3 anchors sounds just about right to me.
Yeah, I'm sure Magna's going to be playing off the information that the Valkyrie cameras will afford him, of course. Well, as for these attacking operators, yeah, okay, so I think Skeleton's been doing fairly well on the IQ. Once again, we're seeing Jackal really come out. I'm a bit bamboozled. I'll have to ask the players, I reckon. Like, what's the plan? Like, what you know, why the Jackal?
I'm telling you, man, it's all because you need to, even though the map is simple, you need to ensure like all the sections are locked down. You cannot afford to have a roamer down below disrupting any of your planting opportunities, because you have Virtue and Rizraz right now. One of them currently oh my lord, Muesli, come on, man.
Aces, what is he doing though? Just running around in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. But as I was saying, there's still one C4 down below. If they do not clear them out swiftly without losing any of the offensive power, they will fail. I mean, yeah, if they manage to clear them out, then it's good. If they won't be able to clear out the C4, that's it.
Yeah, I suppose that's fair enough to say. Like, you know, the vertical play is so important that sometimes you just want that Jackal to completely deny any semblance of it, don't we?
Yeah.
But a minute and a half into the round, though, Ace is the only one to take some damage as he went for a bit of a stroll around in the bomb site, which Muesli was keeping it on. But yeah, you know, Muesli really should have found that frag. He just took his time with that, didn't he? We're going to see downstairs taken quickly by Mangoes as well. Now Magna is dead. Okay, Casper's going to find him. Man advantage goes over to Lowkey with a minute on the clock.
Indeed, and the full control of Sunrise is now also in effect, as Lusty might be the next person contesting that and gets a nice headshot as well onto Casper. So that is one of the offensive players from out and away from this round. Shoot at the very awkward moment the C4, as Muesli is already on site. All the smokes will be covering up. Rizraz does need to get some kills and will be pushing in through, but won't be able to secure anything, but the smoke grenade will be dealing some damage to Muesli, but the plant did go down. Man advantage is still in favor of the attackers, and Aces will be attempting to play a very close angle. Manages to find the kill onto Bundy, managing to even it out to 3v3, but still, the diffuser needs to be shut down as Aces is playing a very dangerous game.
Yeah, I think they really have to worry about the buck that was below. Virtue is going to find Mangoes, though. So, well, there goes that buck, as I was saying. I think Muesli is the one that's going to have to try and keep it together here for Lowkey. What are Fnatic doing? They really haven't been going for the push onto the bomb just yet. We're going to hear it tapped real quick. We're going to see the angle finally found there by Muesli, and that is Lowkey. Bringing themselves into touching distance now, 5-4.
Yeah, 5-4 indeed, and a very good showcase. They managed to just, to be honest, it felt like a little bit of a miracle that the plan did not get shut down by Rizraz, and if he would have sticked to the shotgun and not trying to throw it out, I do feel that he would have had a much bigger chance to get the frag onto the planner. But all things considered, a very good and very well planned performance by LK.
Yep, as we are heading back to Penthouse and Theatre. There's, I believe, guys, we might be having to hit another rehost, as there's might be a bug. Find out. Alright, confirmed, guys. We're going to have to go for another rehost. Once again, this is out of our control, so sorry, but yes, we'll be right back, guys. Don't go anywhere. Score 5-4, isn't it, Cthulhu?
Yes, that is correct, and we just saw Lowkey Esports play out very convincingly during the last offensive round that we saw.
Yeah, definitely. But we are going to head back to the Penthouse Theatre now, Fnatic. This is the bomb site where they started out their defense. They just haven't been able to win a single other site.
Yeah, and so far, like, Fnatic has been showing good promise, but they have been having some of their fundamental issues. Like, Aces has been running around while I believe that was Muesli looking at him like, just like, what is this man doing?
Yeah, he's trying to throw his life away, isn't he? He just wasn't ready for that.
Yeah,
at
the man
all.
is suicidal. Somebody help him. But with that in mind, though, this is the prime chance right now for Fnatic. They are setting up the kitchen hold as well, so they will be fully playing on the vertical aspect. Magnet swapping over back to Doc, and I don't know, with this setup so far, I feel that they will have the good result. As previously seen, they managed to pull it out quite convincingly.
Yeah, well, here we go into the next round, or into the action phase, I should say. Be exact. Well, it's been a long night, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Well,
Nonetheless, the night is still young. We still have one more
yes.
map after this one.
Drinks of coffee and
plenty.
suddenly you're all up and about. Yep. Alright, but Virtue, he's starting to feel the pressure from the buck above. Although Magnet, he's the one that's getting aggressive, peeking on out. But I don't think he can see Scalicon even if he peeks all the way out. Though Scalicon's seen him, just can't land the headshot. Magnet will find Muesli as well. So that's a lost opportunity there for Lowkey and Magnet. Oh, the pre-fire. The final bullet is going to take down Scalicon's head. So Magnet just raking havoc here.
Yeah,
One of the
Magnet
members of Lowkey
has finally decided to say that he's not mucking around anymore, and he's ready to rack some havoc. As Virtue is going all out, and going with the runouts at Zofia and trying to get some closure, but none just yet. Zofia decides to fall back and drop down just to avoid any more of that peeking nonsense.
Yeah, doesn't want to hang around too long when they're having so much trouble dealing with the Doc. Now, Mangoes is below, so he might be tasked with trying to force the Doc out of his positions, but at this point, he's really got no support, so he's going to have to worry about his flanks. And we've got Lusty just in blue bar, just around the corner.
Yeah, Lusty is in a prime spot right now to cause some even more disruption, as I don't think any of the LK members are expecting. And there's the Buck with his back to the Legion. Will be securing Lusty to kill, but Casper tries to refrag back, but it's a bit too late as Lusty has managed to already rotate back into the safety.
So Casper and Bundy, 2 on 5. No one on Fnatic has taken a single lick of damage here, Cthulhu.
Yeah, this certainly looks like a much more dominant round from Fnatic, as it feels like they might be actually getting that score to 1 point. Magnet just missing the Ash, but Lusty is already there with Rizraz all ready to pick up the slack and get the frags. Magnet's still trying to contest that long angle, and I don't think we'll be seeing much. He does reveal his position. 22 seconds on the clock.
He just saw the head of the Zofia, but not landing it. And there we go, Rizraz will find Casper, and Lusty to finish things off under Bundy. A flawless round. I don't think a single piece of damage went down onto the members of Fnatic there, as they put themselves onto at least a draw or taking the game. Match point.
Match point indeed, and so far, all things considered, LK showing some good promise, but just not enough to take the map just yet, as they are still 2 rounds away from securing themselves a draw if they do manage to pull that off, whereas FNC are just only 1 round away from scoring the sweet 3 points and advancing further into the bracket. Well, not on the bracket, on the standings.
Yeah, putting themselves up there, of course. 6-4 is the scoreline right now. This is potentially the final round, or we might be seeing a few more.
I reckon this will be the last round.
You reckon?
In my opinion. Yeah.
No hope for Lowkey?
Defenders, protect your bombs from
Not with the last round's performance,
Oof.
to be honest.
Oof.
attackers of
Well,
Yeah.
you know, we'll find out in 3 minutes or so when the round's over, of course. That being said, Fnatic have only been able to successfully on their defense hold down Penthouse.
Yeah. Well, this was one of the few ones because the Hockey Lounge and Billiards was the least successful for them.
Yeah.
Sunrise Blue, I see Fnatic. I reckon this is going to be in Fnatic's favor. This side.
Yeah, if you cast your mind back, this is the one where you were saying, I was surprised the Aces didn't default down earlier. You feel like Fnatic are going to be a bit more ready for that as Magnet, or he wants to go for a little peek, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Attackers recovered the
It
bomb.
looks like Magnet will be actually.
Oh!
Wow. There's the response grenade as well.
Yeah, it seems like Mangoes was ready for him.
Come on. I know you want to be a religious person, but you can get it.
Just having a bit of trouble opening that wall, isn't he? But he gets there in the end, as you'd hope, as you'd expect.
Yeah.
Now,
As you would expect.
lots of reinforcements and utility being used upstairs as well. Muesli, he's going to take some bullets. I think that was a bit of a run out from VIP.
Yeah, but thankfully for him, he still has some health to fight back, and two-man push into VIP could actually score some good catch for LK if worked up properly. But Magnet is on a very nice long angle, and he will be having the advantage over Bundy's hollow.
Yeah, that's the angle that Bundy opened up from, but Bundy, he's going to go down as he goes to look through that angle once again. Looks like Magnet might even find another one peeking him from there in just a moment. As Aces will find Muesli. You know, I think you might be right, Cthulhu. It seems like Lowkey members are dropping like flies here as Magnet just narrowly misses the head of Muesli. Rizraz to find Mango, who's putting us into a 5-on-2. Scalacan and Casper. A pretty big task in front of them right now if they want to keep their team in this match.
Yeah, but Magnet does manage to sort out Scally, but
Oh,
Casper will, with the drop down shot onto Lusty, will be securing him another one onto Magnet, still having some fight in him, but very low amount of health with still 3 members of Fnatic to be going through, and this is not looking well for him at all.
there we go. He's gonna jump into the hallway, spotted on the camera. He's just waiting for the aggression from Fnatic, but now that they've lost the first 2 members, I think they might slow this one on down in just a moment here. They're gonna wait for Casper to have to make the move.
Yeah. At the moment, this could be a very successful push as Casper goes for the peak, but fortunately the crossfire is there, and Virtue will be securing the final kill onto Casper. GG is coming out as the first map will be going into the hands of Fnatic with 3 points to them as well. But we still have one more map, so maybe LK could make a comeback.
Yes, we do. 7-4 victory for Fnatic. All right.
And right, indeed.
Next map though, let's just I suppose focus on this one just a bit to start off with.
Yeah.
Is this kind of how you expected this map to go, or what do you reckon?
I